It is so strange to be watching this right now. That is me. I was 9 years old in a Bosnian war camp. I'm in the middle of the circle in the blue dress, just playing, like life was normal. And what's crazy thinking back now is that the war camp was a respite from my father's abuse. And even now, that's a hard thing to say out loud, that a place like that felt safer than home. Shortly after this, we were granted asylum, so we moved to the United States. And as an immigrant, survivor of war, abuse, I learned some very specific survival adaptations, not consciously, but in my body. I learned that if I was successful, I would be safe. If I achieved, I would be okay. If I didn't stop, life wouldn't fall apart. And if I did one more thing, then maybe I would be enough. And those weren't just thoughts. They became the way that I lived inside. They shaped how I showed up in relationships, in my career, in the boardroom as an adult. And that underlying fear of failure, of falling behind, of not having enough, it didn't feel small. It felt like life or death when I was making decisions. So I became high functioning, driven, successful, and on the outside, you would think that I had everything. But internally, it was a completely different story. Burnout, addiction, anxiety, overthinking, toxic men, same cycles, and no matter how much I did, it still wasn't enough. No matter how many books I read, I didn't know enough. And none of it felt aligned with the life of who I truly was. There was always this underlying sense of performing instead of actually living. What changed everything for me was realizing that the healing wasn't in doing one more thing. It was learning how to recognize my patterns, regulate my body, and respond differently to understand what was happening underneath instead of trying to control it. And that is what changed everything. Because once I could see it, once I could name it, recognize it, feel it, I could actually shift it. Now I know my story is extreme, and that is how I know that if you're experiencing this in your own way, the overthinking, the pressure, the constant need to hold it together, the cycles, you can heal too. You don't have to keep living like that. My name is Janana, and I do this work with my clients day in and day out. If this resonates, you can book a call and see if this is where you find your peace. I love you. I see you.